What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.
UFC Fight Night, Damian Maia versus Ben Askren from Singapore happened this past October 22nd, which was, in fact, a morning fight, very early morning. I watched it later. Only watched the main card, didn't watch the full card, but it was a fun fight. I was super interested to see how the main event would play out. Two grapplers, one specifically wrestling, the other one more jiu-jitsu. And going into the fight, I thought Ben Askren was going to win it. I thought he was going to be able to get takedowns and kind of control Damian Maia more and kind of wear him out maybe. But I don't know why I thought that, because it doesn't make a lot of sense when you think of Damian Maia's toolkit. And his skills and his ability to, he's just one of the best jiu-jitsu players in MMA. And a lot of people qualify that even more by saying that he's the best MMA jiu-jitsu. Because he's one of the few jiu-jitsu guys that's actually good at takedowns or works takedowns that help him achieve kind of the ground position. But with Askren and Maia, it turned out to be pretty similar to what happens when a lot of grapplers face other grapplers. It turns into a stand-up war. It was a fun fight. It got fight of the night, but it was really bad stand-up. I mean, not horrible. They both landed their shots. Askren was landing some great uppercuts, he was definitely landing some good punches, but then also throwing some really lazy kind of weird, like he did a Chael Sonnen spinning back pirouette. It didn't work, just like Chael's didn't work against Anderson. But it's still a fun fight, still back and forth, close fight, until Maia really got it to the ground and was able to reverse positions and kind of do whatever he wanted to do, and then ended up getting the back and getting was a rear naked choke in the third round. So it was a fun fight, third round finish for Damian Maia, who's just still winning. I think this might be his second or third fight win in a row, just still laying it down. Ben Askren, I still wouldn't mind seeing Ben fight a couple more times in the UFC. I don't know where his contract's at or where he's at, but I would like to see. I think as far as a journeyman, there's a lot of fun fights, I would say, at that weight class, but I don't know if he'll stick around to do it, the welterweight weight class, but I wouldn't hate on it. But at least it's like the first time we actually got to see Ben Askren fight, actually put in some time in the octagon. So I don't know. I think against anybody else, I wouldn't mind seeing him against like a Khabib, although Khabib's a champion at the lower weight class, but that's a matchup I would not mind seeing. But yeah, it was okay. It was okay. It was good. It was it was actually fun for being a stand-up fight between two grapplers. It was kind of fun. The fight before that, Stevie Ray versus Michael Johnson. Michael Johnson, I thought won that fight, or at least a draw. He won the first two rounds, I thought, pretty clearly, and then Stevie Ray, once he was able to get that takedown and control Michael Johnson, Johnson just wasn't doing anything to try and get up. He was just shut down pretty much immediately in that third round. So I could see Stevie Ray getting a 10-8 in the third, but I still think Michael Johnson won the first two. But he got a loss on that one, which is a tough loss. But Michael Johnson's he's like he fades. He fades in fights. And it's been his Achilles heel. Dariush got a submission, rear naked choke, in a fun fight, early finish in that one. There was a heavyweight fight, Cyril Gane versus Dontal Mays. Great, just pretty dominant fight from Gane all around. Mays took all of the punches. But he ended up finishing it with a heel hook, which is a crazy kind of. He's just a dominant performance. Just the other guy wouldn't would not quit, would not give up, and just a fun heavyweight fight. So looking forward to Gane. Always looking forward to exciting, talented heavyweight fighters that are not dirty cheats like Greg Hardy. So I would see Gane destroying Greg Hardy in a fight, but Hardy's going to get destroyed here pretty soon in a couple weeks, I think. So hopefully, if the universe is at all fair and just, then he'll get kicked in the nuts, poked in the eye, and then knocked the fuck out. Or maybe, he'll knee himself in the face as he passes out from being knocked out or something like that. And then, so overall, it was a fun night of fights. I didn't see the early prelim fights, but it was fun. But moving on to some drama. I mean, UFC 244, the BMF belt is being birthed and fought over in this fight. Jorge Masvidal versus Nate Diaz from New York City, November 2nd. Possibly, I could see this belt becoming the 165-pound belt, considering Nate and Masvidal, former lightweight fighters that just happened to be fighting at welterweight for this fight. But should be a good fight. I don't know who will win, but I think it'll be a crazy fight. Of course, the co-main, Kevin Gastelum versus Darren Till. Till's going up to middleweight now. Gastelum just coming off of his lost for the belt, fighting for the belt against Israel Adesanya. I think Darren Till is probably going to look. This is going to be crazy. This whole card is stacked. First off, I think there's going to be a lot of crazy fights. That's a great matchup. Kevin Gastelum versus Darren Till. Stand-up war for sure. Stephen Thompson versus Vicente Luque. Vicente Luque, up-and-coming, rising star. Great chin, but also amazing technique. Just a really fun fighter to watch fight against Stephen Thompson, who is, the male karate hottie, I guess you could say. I don't know. But I don't see Thompson winning it, but that one should be good. Derek Lewis, his balls are hot and ready to go against Blagoy Ivanov. That should be fun. Hopefully Derek Lewis's back is in proper order. Kevin Lee versus Gregor Gillespie. Gillespie's like this up. They're both wrestlers, Kevin Lee and Gregor Gillespie. I mean, Kevin Lee a little bit more well-rounded than Gregor, but Gregor is shutting people down to the extent where he's being compared to Khabib. I think he's fought. His resume so far is better than Khabib's resume. Khabib has only fought a couple guys that have names that are dangerous. So far, I mean, he has had the belt while doing it, so I mean that's kind of impressive. But his resume to get the belt, let's be honest, Khabib, little to be desired. But he's making up for it now as the champ. And even the prelim card, the prelim is headlined, or the feature bout for the prelim card is Corey Anderson versus Johnny Walker, a light heavyweight potential contender bout. I think it should be. Anyway, or at least the winner of this should fight what's his face from last week. You have Shane Burgos versus Makwan Americani, Brad Tavares versus Edmund Shabby. You have Andrei Arlovsky still fighting somehow. Even in the early Fight Pass prelim, Caitlin Chukagian versus Jennifer Maia, fucking Damian Maia's daughter. Lyman Good versus Chance Rencontre. Hakeem Dawodu. I mean, the fights are going to be fun when the names come out and sound so enjoyable, right? That's how it works in fighting. I've been to the horse tracks a few times out in, Del Mar, is that? By San Diego. And my strategy for betting was always to choose the horse that had the name that could be the summer blockbuster. And I didn't do horrible. I won some, so maybe it was a good strategy. But I would say this fight card might be similar to that. Just a lot of fun names that I can actually pronounce. So I'm looking forward to it. UFC 244. Be interesting to see how the BMF belt looks. What happens to the belt. Nate Diaz almost didn't fight in this fight because he had tested for like very small trace, like picograms basically of a substance, and Nate flipped out and preemptively pulled himself from the fight until USADA and the UFC cleared his name publicly. Took some time for the UFC and USADA to put out a statement, but they did, and the fight's back on, thankfully, and we're gearing up to go, and I am very excited for that card. This is a pay-per-view that I'm looking forward to watching the entire card from start to finish, so fingers crossed. It's a busy day driving people around Halloween the weekend after. That's it for this episode, though. Some fun fights, fun card coming up. New episodes of The Ray Taylor Show come out every single day. Subscribe on IGTV, YouTube, and everywhere else podcasts are found. Go buy my artwork over at InspiredDisorder.com and save 25% when you use coupon code RTS. Follow me on social media at Ray Taylor. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace out!